What is going on, everyone? It's Nick from Breaking the Clutch. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. And before I jump into today's gameplay, which is going to be a 1v1 analysis, a few things. First, later on today, which is Sunday, around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be hosting a Mixer stream. That'll be down, the link to that will be down in the description below. And on this stream, I will be taking in as many players from the community as I can, and we're going to run custom games. Hopefully I'll have a mod on the other side of the game, so that way you guys can get to know me, you guys can get to know some of our mods that do such a great job on the Discord and throughout our YouTube channel and stuff like that. So if you guys want to play with us, this is the time to do it. Of course, we're going to do it from about 2 to 4 today, but don't let that discourage you if you're unable to make it today, because we plan on starting to do, or I plan on starting to do these about 2-3 times a week, and if more people show up, then I'll expand the time that we're doing it, because like I said, I'm doing it from 2 to 4 just today. And if again, if it has a good turnout and people enjoy it, then I'm more than happy to make more time out of my day to do it. So this will be like a test run of sorts. So alright, without further ado, let's jump into today's gameplay. It's going to be a 1v1, and the guy, I looked him up afterwards, and I felt like I played a really good game. I was really enjoying, lately I've been really enjoying Halo Wars 2 for my 1v1s. I think it's because the opponents put me in a situation that makes me think about the game a little differently than normal. Like I've stated in the past, sometimes this game can work like clockwork, and you go through your motions, the opponent goes through their motions, and the result's still the same regardless, and there's not really a lot of variables that adjust that. But recently I've been enjoying it. There's been a lot of different opponents that I've played that have made me think about the game a little differently, and I like the way I've been reacting to it. At least post game, I'm able to think about it and figure out, okay, what could I have done a little bit differently. And this is one of those examples where I felt like there's a lot of things that went well in this game for me, and I'm going to try to break that down as best I can. Also, later on, I think tomorrow actually, I played a game against Uncut Precision. You guys might know him from our Discord. He was in, I believe, our 1v1 tournament. I don't think he played in the 2v2 tournament, but he was in our 1v1 tournament. Fantastic player. Definitely, I would say when he's grinding out and working toward a champ rank, he's like top 50 in the world, at least in my opinion. And I played a game against him. I am planning on releasing that tomorrow. I'm going to chop it up a bit. It was a bit of a long game. I think it was like 37 minutes long, and it was just one game. I'm going to chop it up, and I'm going to analyze the gameplay. I'm going to do my best to represent some of his views, because we talked about it after the game. I'm going to do my best to talk about stuff that he thought that I could improve upon and where he could improve upon, and then I'm going to talk about stuff where I think I could improve upon and where he can improve upon, and hopefully that gives you guys a bit of an insight. It was a really long and daunting game, but I do think there was a lot of stuff to learn from. So that'll be coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So aside from that, we've got I'm trying to get that triple ghost build going right here, because I feel like if you're Shipmaster in the early parts of a game, if you're not getting that triple build, then I think you're wasting an opportunity. When you are Shipmaster, I guess there's a couple of different ways to go about it, but I like triple pumping Ghost. If you're going into Tech 2 as quickly as you possibly can, then I can see the double pump being viable. I just prefer triple Ghost, especially on a map this big. I need to spread myself out as quickly as I possibly can, and figure out where my opponent is, because with maps like this, an opponent can have a mini base on the other side of the map, and you may never see it the entire game if you're not moving around. If you get stuck in the center of the map battling these fights out towards the power nodes, you're not going to see these mini bases. So I'm trying to do my best in scouting across the entire map, and I think the more ghosts I have, the better off I'll be with that, because then I can keep a core group together, and they can maneuver around the center of the map, and it's not going to affect me if I have 1 or 2 go out on the side. If I'm double pumping, then I'm taking nearly half my population away in the early game by sending 1 or 2 scouts out towards these sides to figure that out, and then I can easily get countered in the center of the map while I'm trying to get power nodes. So you can see a lot of different variables going on right here, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to push myself into the mid to late game, because I feel like if Shipmaster gets to that mid to late game, your chances of winning have gone up significantly. And the reason I say that is because Shipmaster has just some fantastic abilities. I've gone over them several times, but very quickly. Displacement, fantastic. Mass cloaking's okay in certain scenarios. Definitely, if you get that double teleport, you've got the double extract. Even glassing beam comes into play pretty well, especially if you're going up against infantry. If your infantry are going up and taking shots at the opponent's infantry, maybe they have an upgrade over you, simply just drop that glassing beam while they're half shields, and it'll knock them out no problem. One thing I don't think I actually mentioned, I think I'm playing a colony player in this one. So when we look at colony, what do you expect? I personally expect a little chopper engineer play still. Maybe throw skitterers in there with the engineers. That's still something I expect. And I think Ghosts, I think when we did the test, Ghosts are slightly stronger than choppers in a one-on-one scenario. Add engineers, add skitterers in there, and no way in hell. So that's why that's another reason why I'm triple pumping. It's out of just a mentality where I just assume that if you're going to go choppers and skitterers, then I need to do something to boost my advantage. So if I get a 3-2 pump, then I figure that's the best thing for me. And I'm going with a standard, with my standard play here. I've got the raid camp going. I'll get the foundry going, and on the third base right here, or the mini base right here, I've got a air pad going, and that's to pump out a little bit of engineers to help me balance in that that skitterer engineer combo that my opponent could very well be doing. So I'm trying to give myself a lot of options here. And one thing I'm trying to get into the motions of doing, which again, it's so easy to overlook, but it must be done. You have to scout at all times, not just in the beginning of the game, not in the end of the game, or not in it has to be every few minutes. You have to scout, especially if you don't see what your opponent's doing for a little bit here. So I'm making sure before I build anything, I am sending that scout over there, and I figure out what they're doing. And I want to point this out real quick. You see I double-clicked hunters real quick, and then I took a step back. There's a lot of times where players, and myself at fault, as you'll see right there, or you've probably seen in the past video, if I see a raid camp, right, and I see a foundry, there are a lot of times where I go back to my base and I quickly just smash the button on several things instead of giving myself 2 or 3 seconds to think about what's the best order to proceed with this. I see he's got a foundry, I see he's got a raid camp. What am I more worried about? Well, my ghost can probably handle any ghost or any locust city pumps out right now. So let's get some rangers out instead of those hunters to counter the vehicles. That's what I'm doing right there. I'm trying to give myself a couple more seconds to figure out what's the best way to do it. And this is what I'm talking about right here. This is that was bad tracking on my part. I shouldn't have had that locust push up like that. But you'll see, taking that extra second really does help you. It gives you the advantage, and you're not going to lose a game by not producing a unit with 1 or 2 seconds extra. So take that time, figure out what the best way to the best army composition is for you, and it'll pay off immensely. Now you'll see right here, I got the shield gen up, perfect timing, and this is what I'm talking about. I get that teleported, and now I'm sitting inside my shield gen, and I'm defending myself as best I can. I've got the other ghosts coming in from the back, and now I've pinched them completely, and you'll see I'm trying to rotate as best I can in the center or towards my shield gen, because that's gonna benefit me in every way possible. And I'm gonna get that ram in right there, and I think that's what, an eradication beam, or no, sorry, colony's brand. So dodged it there. He tried to do it when I had some of my guys in the shield gen. Yeah, if I were him, I would try to back up and then pull me out of the shield gen and then hit me in between the shield gen and my units, so that way I have to back up into the shield gen and I would get clipped. That's probably what I would have done. Of course, this is happening all in the moment, so it's a little easier to look at it in post game, but you'll see this is what I'm talking about. These are the reasons I'm enjoying this game right now. A lot of different strategies are coming back. This is season 3 right here, stuff with the skitterers. You get the engineers, you've got the choppers. I'm enjoying that. Someone challenged me in that way, and I hadn't seen it in season 4, and I really enjoyed having to figure out what to do really quickly. I like to teleport into the shield gen, and I got that shield gen up at the proper time. I can't remember if there was a reason I went for the shield gen, or because normally that's just a build I do. I do 3 turrets and a shield gen typically, and then maybe later in the game I'll sacrifice one of those turrets for a cloaking generator. But you'll see I have the advantage now, right? I've knocked off a good portion of his units, and now I'm going to go try to pick off as many bases as I can. And if you saw back on my main base, I actually didn't have any other turrets, so I must have saw at some point in the game that I needed to get that shield gen up. It was probably when he was cutting across to the side. So typically I go couple turrets and then the shield gen. But in that case, if you've got to quickly get that shield gen up to defend your base, that's what you got to do, and avoid the turrets. You can make them later. All right, now I am taking over the map. Right, I'm taking out his side mini bases. I'm trying to take power nodes right now. This is the rally. This is the momentum that needs to happen, and you really got to take control of the game as quickly as you possibly can. You'll see I'm not going to waste any time. Teleport comes back quickly. I'm going to start dealing damage. He's got a war, I think that was a war council right there. Yeah, I'm not wasting any time. The things have to start dropping. Eventually, I've got to pick up that mini base. There it is right there. And typically with my mini base, I'm not sure if this is a thing that people are still worrying or wondering about, but with that second base, I initially go supply pad, war council, supply pad, not in any particular order, depends on what my economy looks like and depends on what I need, and then I immediately upgrade that base. So as soon as I click on my first supply pad on that, I am upgrading my base as we speak, and then, or as that's upgrading, and then as soon as that upgrades, I'm putting a shield gen on it immediately, and then I'll figure out what I need from there. Maybe I need another foundry, maybe I need another raid camp or air pad, or maybe I just need more supplies. And sometimes in certain games where the opponent may be doing a very good job of holding down those power nodes, maybe you need an extra power generator just for a short while. It costs 800, I get it, but if, you know, push comes to shove and you need it and you need to upgrade that war council and you need a little extra power because your opponent's doing a nice job of controlling the center of the map, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I leave those open for those scenarios. And real quick, on our Discord yesterday, I believe it was, Metaloid brought up a really good point. He suggested that shield gen should not come up when you're attacking the main. I couldn't agree more. This is still a damning problem in Halo Wars 2. I thoroughly enjoyed the way Halo Wars 1 did it. I might be biased, I might be nostalgic in that sense, but I really do think that shield gen should not be coming up while you're attacking the base. I think if you're shooting the base, shield gen should be avoided, and then if they stop attacking the base and they start attacking side pads like they did in Halo Wars 1, then you have about 20 seconds to get that shield gen up. I think that's the best way to go about it. You'll see though, he pushed my main, my secondary, knocked it off. It's a bummer. I really should have sat back and defended that, but I'm picking up a second base anyways, and I'm continuing to put the pressure on. I've got him pinned to his back base. He's got that one Hunter's Captain moving around the map with a few, it was just a few Goliaths, so I assume that he's got a secondary base at somewhere, right? He's got to have one, because I killed his war council earlier, as you saw, and there's no war council right here. So he's either got a secondary base or he picked up a mini base again and started producing that that Hunter's Captain. And I've got that secondary base right in front of his. I'm not quite sure why he went Reavers. I guess he's more concerned about the engineers than he is anything else. I think that's a mistake. I think it's probably just a panic click. And one thing that you got to watch out for Colony is that he's got the veterans he dropped, and it drops in some pretty good units, and it's gonna. It kind of causes an issue in 1v1s, not like a meta issue, but it causes the player an issue. So I got to figure out how to rework my army composition right here if he's going to drop in one of those, because I still have a bunch of ghosts, which shows the early game dominance. I didn't have to lose my ghosts in the early engagements, and you'll see there's the veterans he dropped, I believe. And you'll see I'm going to start trying to ram as many, I'm going to try to get my ghosts to ram as many things as I can. I'm not quite sure. Oh, okay, so I'm displacing his units right there for a split second, and it's going to give me a few more, maybe 4 or 5 more seconds to attack his base without having to deal, and then I get my Spirit Assault in, which is, I like that play. You get the Hunters in, you get the more Engineers in the mix, and it can really help you, especially against that veterans he dropped. Not a direct counter to it, but a good one nonetheless. And I think the reason I'm doing this is because I think at this point, if I want to take the late game advantage and push myself and you know, raise my win percentage or my chance of winning, I've got to take down a few things off his base. I've got to take down. You'll notice I'm not hitting the main yet. I was knocking off certain things around his base, and then I started attacking that main when I saw fit. And that's I thought that was a really good play. It looked like for a second there I wasn't going to be able to take that main out, which is why I displaced his units. And then I started taking out a few more side pads, and then I took out the main. You got to make sure, because there are certain scenarios where in the past I've attacked everything. I was going straight for the main, didn't take out anything on his main base. I was just attacking the main, attacking the main, attacking the main, and I think I played a Shipmaster, and he just displaced me. And his base was literally a slither of health. He was able to, before I got back up there, because my teleport wasn't ready. He just healed his base, and I didn't do any damage. Like, it was completely pointless to to even attack that base. So you see, it's important to make sure that you understand your scenario. Not everything has to be a base kill. Sometimes you gotta take off a few pads like you did in Halo Wars 1 before you attack the main, and it just depends on the situation. You'll see I teleported into his veterans. He dropped units. I have to make sure that that I take those out as quickly as I can and don't let those linger around. And you'll notice if you've been paying attention or close attention this game, a couple things can be occurring right now. He clearly has more than 2 bases, or more than, or he still has a base left. He had more than 2 bases when I killed his other base. That right there, that base is invisible, the one that I just highlighted over. For some reason, and you'll see this in the gameplay tomorrow. By the way, if the fact that he got this base up to this point means I didn't do a good enough job scouting on my side. I was too confident that I had him pinned to rights on his side of the map. So that's one example of something that needs to be improved upon. Got to get the scout on, even on your side of the map, even if you are comfortable. Because I felt like I dominated this game from start to finish here. But the fact that he was able to sneak a scout around maybe or something, he was able to pick that base up. You know when he probably did pick that base up? I have no idea actually, but I think that when he actually picked it up was when he cut across earlier in the game with all his units. I think he picked it up while he was pushing forward, which is a fantastic time to do so because I would be pushed back to my base. He was probably able to upgrade that immediately. So before he finished fighting me on my base, he probably had that thing upgraded in a shield gen going on it. So that's probably when that occurred. Again, as soon as I kill that, I attack his mini bases and stuff. I've got to send 1 scout over that way. Make sure I cover my grounds, and you know, we'll learn from that. But it's not too big of a deal because I was doing a nice job. You'll see I get that displacement out. I try to get that shield gen up, and for some reason in this game I completely have a mental lapse of the active camo being a thing on my opponent's base, and I walk past his base several times. And you'll finally see, well, that's his main, but there's another one. I'm still looking over it. I haven't done the math in my head yet to figure out, you know, where is this last damn base at? There's 6 bases total on the map, of course, and I only see 5 on the mini map, and 2 and 2 hasn't hit me yet, or 2 and 3, or 3 and 3, I guess, in that case. It just hasn't hit me yet, and he's still got a good size army here, a good amount of banshees. So I do have to be careful. You'll see that spin right there was me pissed off because I had just realized what had happened and that he had that base down below. But regardless, I'm in a good position, right? I've got 2 or 3 bases going. I'm not too worried. But the thing is, if you don't take advantage, or if you don't seize these moments and take out those bases when you can, or you let your opponent crawl back into the game can change it. I don't know how many times I was in a 3-2 base situation where I had the 3 and my opponent had the 2 back in Season 3, and they were super turtling to defend themselves, and then they just wipe out your army and rally. These things can happen, so you can't take these bases lightly, and you got to make sure that you take them out as quickly as you possibly can. I still I want to make sure those Banshees did not get across to the map. He's got 1 base left, so I need to make sure that he didn't just sneak past me. I think I'm going to go back to that base and then pick it up and make sure that that I've got that before I make the final push onto his last base. But this is pretty much going to do it, guys. I want to make sure that you guys are aware again. BtC Discord link is in the description down below. We are going to be opening up an Xbox club for Breaking the Clutch pretty soon here. This will help community members interact with us more. You'll be able to upload clips and stuff like that to the Xbox channel, stuff like that. Also, let's see, we've got a fantasy football league going on right now for the BtC Discord community. If you want to join, DM me on Discord or Xbox. Quickly do it. We've got 1 spot left. What else do we have? I think it's going to do it. Remember, stream is today from 2 to 4. Feel free to join us if you want to hang out with the BtC, I guess, mods and myself. We're going to try to help you guys. We don't have anything in particular that we're trying to do. We're just trying to get you guys some game time with us. Maybe some novice players. This will help improve your gameplay, or maybe you guys just want to meet us. Regardless, I'm for both. So let me know. I think. Yeah, my Gamertags in the description as well below. So feel free to hit me up on there. You have all the information needed for that, and you'll see this is the final attack pretty much right here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, I do have a 1v1 analysis against Uncut Precision coming out tomorrow. Gonna be a really good game. I'm really gonna enjoy producing that one. So hope you guys do as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow.